All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. You may be surprised and you may oh, whoa, that's me. You may be used to it by now, but we are doing a live watch list once again. So we've been doing these on Thursday in 2024. Last week with the market going down, I've been doing them on Monday. We did one yesterday. Today is kind of a special event. Not really. It's not like anything crazy is going down, but we have the CPI tomorrow morning. That should solidify a lot of things, and it's really going to set up the market moving forward for here, at least for the next week or so. But I don't know, man. We've been having a lot of fun, and I think I might do a live watch list every day this week. So I don't know. We're going to see, but if you are used to this by now, you know the vibe, you know the drill. Just like the normal watch list, we are going to go over everything. I have the keys, I have the recap, the plays, all that good stuff. So if you are used to that, you are going to get all of that, but you're going to have to bear with me a little bit because we will be live, and instead of having a pre-written question segment, I can just ask the Chad because they're here right now, baby. Oh, man. So on that note, baby, excuse the ADD, my people, on the recap, but let's get into it, baby. What's going on? What do we have, Chad Adonia? Good evening. Good evening, baby. What's going on? How we living? What up, Mark? What up, Donald? NRG, Nayer, Vissy, Two Women, Mayhem, Angel, Shasta, it's the one and only, baby, David Terrell, Mark J, and Chapato, Jay's Cash, baby. What up? Jerry, Wood, y'all. Good morning. Me not good. Damn it, I already did. I already said good morning. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave now. Never mind. I already made a mistake. Can we restart the video? How do I? See, I'm not. This is what sucks about being live, bro. I don't get no multiple. Can I restart? All right, let's try it again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad that you guys are here. So it's 2024 live. The watch is going to be a list that's live if you're used to it. See, man, I already selling good morning, bet. All right, man. Well, Chattadonia, I hope you guys are ready. Again, yesterday was a lot of fun. You know, I legitimately, I got to, this is why I'm like, man, maybe we should do it. Maybe I just had too much fun yesterday, but maybe I'm like, we should do a live watch list every single night here this week because yesterday was kind of historic. I got to reflect on it a little bit, and I was like, man, that's crazy that, you know, you don't really watch it too often. A political candidate and like one of the richest men in the world do some weird little show like that. It was wild. So to be live with you was truly my honor. And now we have a lot to talk about in the market. So we'll see where it goes. But hopefully you guys, I hope you guys have good questions. I really do, because again, all I have is the keys and the plays, and everything I am going to rely on you guys to go from there. Does that sound good? So I hope you guys are locked and loaded. Oh, what's up, the Jacksons? Oh, my goodness. I like it. That's a great way to start off. This is not Josh AI, okay? I believe the Lord Jesus Christ is my Savior. So AI wouldn't tell you that. You know, AI would be like, oh, sorry. All religions, I respect them, but I can't say the word Jesus Christ. Sorry, I don't want to offend. So you're good, bro. You're good. The Spirit is alive and well. We are ready to go, and honestly, on that note, I don't know if this is the right note to bring it on, but like, yo, the Spirit is alive and well, baby, and I hope you guys are alive and well. And before we begin, because I'm going to need you guys to take notes and all of that, I want you guys to realize that we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. That's the type of energy we're on every single day, so don't forget. But tomorrow, since it is the CPI, a very important day, and that comes out 1 hour before the bell. But here's the best day. I'm telling you, man, if you really want to be an overachiever and have a lot of fun, you could come to the chat. Go to youtube.com/thestockmarket/live. And not only can you come before the data and you could be there for the live interpretation, but I strongly encourage you, if you want to come about 4 hours after the data, you could people watch in the chat, and you could watch people be like, oh, is the CPI out? And the market will be up or down like 5% or something, and they'll still ask it. So it's great people watching if you are into any of that. So either way, you could learn, you could ask questions, get the data, get the news live. We also have the news wire. And if you like people watching, It's fun. Yeah. It's there. Fun for the whole family. So I will see you there tomorrow. But on that note now, let's not waste any more time. I hope you guys take some notes. And again, we'll see what questions that the chat has. But as far as what happened in the last couple of days now, clearly people are feeling a lot more confident about the market after a move like today. You have a lot of people talking about, yeah, maybe the market bottomed after that 5-6% last week. People are feeling good. There's no more breaking out of Japan. The data today with the PPI was actually pretty decent data, and depending on the data that we get tomorrow, that is going to cement this idea of softer inflation, rate cuts in September, and maybe rate cuts could be bad, but as long as Japan's not breaking, people are going to work their way through this. So that's one thing I want you to realize. It's a really weird dynamic. Some people had difficulty getting this. Some people fighting the market. Some people vibed with it. But what you really got to realize, where you are at today, this is the high end of the last week or so. Very, very high comparative to where you were. So that's very high in the short term there, 1 week. But on a 2-week, 1 month scale, this is the lowest you were at one point. So all of this movement to really be at a very weird equal middle ground, practically unchanged over the last 3 months since May, and then being at the top end of the short term, low end of the midterm, and it's leaving us in this weird spot. And not only that, think about it, the data today, there was lower PPI. We'll talk about that. That was the big driver, but some people are like, wait a minute, why? If we had good inflation data, I thought rate cuts were kind of received as bad. They were, and give it time. Doesn't mean we won't bounce around and move, but you'll notice we're still lower than that little fiasco. That little fiasco of rate cuts in the non-farms and Powell, we were about 20 points higher from where we are. Now we closed in on that gap, so maybe that could change by tomorrow, and I do think tomorrow it might be able to, but this is kind of the backdrop that has led us into where we are now. So like I was saying, the PPI this morning, that was the good data, and it has been showing this backdrop of inflation coming down. So why I want you to understand this, because tomorrow you will be getting the CPI, but the PPI today, this feeds into the CPI and the PCE, but this came in lower. And usually, here's the weird part, usually the PPI comes out after the CPI. It's only came out ahead of CPI 2 times in the last 2 years or so, but PPI came in lower, and it was one of the first declines in services as far as producer prices are concerned. So this today has people feeling optimistic about the CPI. I mean, I'm telling you, the PPI was so good today. This is kind of my problem for tomorrow. Whatever happens with the data and the movement, it's honestly, it's quite bothersome. Today we moved up about 1.7%. And if you noticed, again, NASDAQ 2.4, remember, Pandora's box is open. We're literally moving 2% a day ever since we unlocked that volatility. So I want you to understand something here. And with everything, is just we moved a lot today. We moved 1.68 on the SPY, but here's my problem. At the beginning of the week, we were pricing in 1.5% for CPI day. So once again, you are into the event, and the day before, you have moved what the option market was pricing in. A high volatility event. Does that sound familiar? That's literally what happened at the last non-farms. You guys remember? We were talking 1.7, and then sure enough, you move 1.7, and then the data came out. So that's going to make tomorrow a little bit more tough, and that's what I don't like, because I'm like, damn, it might be a sell the news no matter what, but all things considered, PPI came in lower. People are expecting that will feed into the CPI and that we should get a lower CPI. I mean, if you aren't aware what's been going on with CPI, I mean, it's kind of important here. I'll put it up on the other screen. But one, I mean, don't forget the trend we've been on with CPI as of late. Do you guys remember? Last CPI was really good. And do you know why it was really good? Because we had a negative month over month. So this time around, people are still expecting it to be 0.2, but even if it comes in at 0.2, I think that's the lowest 3-month average in a while. So this whole trend over the last couple of months, it has been inflation coming down. Not only was the month-over-month negative last quarter, but again, you could see inflation here, 3 even headline. That's good. And one thing that happened last CPI, the housing and shelter, it came down a little bit. So people are kind of excited for that this time around. If anything, again, we are expecting the 0.2. I think it's quite generous, but there are things that could get in the way. It's very weird because I did think that PPI and CPI should diverge. I don't know why. I have this weird feeling that we're going to kind of be a little bit lagged, but generally the PPI is saying that inflation should come down. The trend over the last couple of months, last time, everything is pointing towards coming down. So my interpretation for tomorrow, I would keep your head on a swivel for surprises, but the way it's looking, in my opinion, I think it's going to be anything in line is good. Anything like today's data, plus or minus 0.1 or around the headline number. Again, the 3.2, 3.3 on headline, 3.0 on core, or 3.3 on core, 3.0 on headline. I think the market would like it. The problem tomorrow would be if we get a really hot set of data or a really low set of data. That's something you got to realize. If the data comes down too low, then we could crater and people might panic. That's something we talked about yesterday that I think will really surprise people. And I think it's a good thing to note, but all things considered, the general trend right now is everything should be coming into line and broadly solidify that we get the September cuts. And I guess this is my last problem that I would say here. Although everybody is expecting that it should come in line, and I do think if anything outside of, near the targets could kind of upset people, the problem, a lot of the Fed speakers lately have been more hawkish. We had Fed Bostic today. He did not really sound too optimistic. A couple of the other Fed, who was it to start off the week? Was it Bowman? A lot of them haven't really been, they haven't been talking as if this data set is going to come in smelling all roses. So I think it's really going to be a toss-up. The thing about tomorrow is that this will be a set of data that will lead you for the next week or so. Then you're going to have NVIDIA earnings at the end of the month. I mean, believe it or not, we're already halfway done with August. And then before you know it, we're wrapping up August. And then shortly thereafter, you'll be getting into the Fed and then the non-farms, the next set of CPI, and then Powell. That will be the main event there. So tomorrow should be simple in terms of a read. Good will be good. Lower inflation is good. Higher inflation is bad. The market right now just doesn't want to be upset. Think about it. The market could use less uncertainty. That's why I'm thinking in the line at the money number would probably be your best bet. And then from there, we'll just see where everything takes us. And I would definitely watch the bonds. So I don't have it written down here, but before I wrap it up and get to the plays, one thing I will tell you, you guys got to think about. Does anybody know what I'm about to show you? Actually, before I get there, let's see. You're live. Let's see, Chad. Live interaction. What was Josh about to show you? How well do you know Josh? Grab a long term, hold them for 10 years. Daily double. Bloop, 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 bloop. Inverted curve, TLT. Nice. You guys are all wrong. I still love you. Not the yield curve. That's a great answer. That's not correct. That's awesome. Immigration chart. What do you think? I listened to one Trump after hours. Now I'm like, hold on. Let me show you this. Wait till you see this. Can you believe it? These guys, they're awful. They're terrible. 143. You just 143. I love you. 143. I can't believe you said that to me. I understood what you meant. So yeah, I guess you guys don't know me too well. I was going to show you the 10-year. So here's the deal, cutie pie. Tomorrow is a big set of data. And remember, TLT, the bonds, rate cut expectations, homeboy, the bonds, this is really important. Where the 10-year, yeah, exactly, 10-year at 3.5. So it may not go that low. The next stop is going to be 3.7, but pretty much 10-year at 3.5 or 10-year going above 4. So I do think if tomorrow is hot, prepare for a market above 4% on the 10-year. You see what I'm saying? If we could have good data that supports the disinflation, you're going to support a 10-year at 4 and below. Are you feeling? This is the main story of tomorrow, baby. This is the sauce that I'm giving you right here. Below 3.5 could start to insinuate a little bit more panic or hard landing, but we'll get there when we see it. That only happens if we really get like a shitty number, but pretty much, generally speaking, whatever the data shows us tomorrow, as long as the trend shows us, it'll stay within the range. As long as we don't go too low on the 10-year, that's things not getting too bad. As long as we don't go too high on the 10-year, things aren't getting too bad. That's us following the very narrow path, more or less. Ta-da! In a weird way, you could kind of visualize the soft landing path as the 10-year. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I hope it does, my friends. I hope it does. But on that note, I hope it helps. I hope you're ready. Again, I will see you guys tomorrow morning for all of it. Actually, before I wrap up any of that, is there any questions? Again, there is actually one more thing. You have retail sales. So remember, retail sales is another part of tomorrow. And if anything, if the CPI is too in line and we get a major move, I would look towards the retail sales. But here's the deal. The beauty of the chart that I'm showing you right now and kind of using this to visualize the landing or not, if retail sales is really going to be disruptive, you probably should get that reflected there on the 10-year. Ta-da! So on that note, any questions? Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Any questions about the CPI tomorrow? You are here right now. Before we get into the plays, because it's kind of simple. I got good plays. I got bad plays. I got news plays. I got TLT plays. I got options. I got bonds. I got rate cuts. Why do you think SPY pricing in 0.9? I think it's because we moved a poop ton today. It was 1.5 at the beginning of the week. Scamala Harris. Concerned about job numbers. When they drop, we drop. IWM in the next couple of months? Honestly, I think it depends on the data and whether or not hard landing or soft landing data and rates. You got work. What's oil going to do? Oil might be responsive tomorrow, but I'll tell you this. If it's really bad data, oil might dump. Again, that's one thing we saw last week. Part of it, even with gold, is that, the more recessionary the data, hard landing, and if people really freak out, they'll sell off consumers, or they'll sell off commodities. And I think we saw a little bit of that last week. The refunding, I think it's going smooth. I think we're going to get an update on that shortly. Eli Lilly to 1,000. I mean, is it still riding the wave off the good earnings? We'll see. We could talk about that here in a little bit. For the plays, I have a couple of plays, but any last call? Last call for CPI questions. Last call as we're here live and direct, baby. You live in a good area for real estate, but prices are high. Will rate cuts benefit you? Rate cuts will benefit everybody in real estate in the long run, but in the short run, I think it will cause pain. Will good CPI make TLT? So if the CPI is low, TLT should rise. If TLT or if CPI is high, TLT should go down, but an inline number, it should kind of continue. But I'll tell you, if you start noticing the bonds are trending, 3.8 and below, it's probably going to go to 3.75, making its way downtown, walking fast to 3.5. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Hold the bonds. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Buy a long term. So, yeah. That's a good question. But we'll see. How low is too low? I think like anything below 0.3 or like a 0.4 month-over-month increase. But like if the core comes up to like 3, if it goes down below 3 out of nowhere, or if headline drops to like 2.6, I think that would be scary low. And remember, here's the thing. The PPI today, it showed that services dropped. So that was the first time in a while that producer prices showed services coming down. So if we see that tomorrow on CPI, that should lend to a lower number. But then if that craters too much, that could be a little bit ugly. Yeah, we hear, baby. So if rates drop, borrowing money will be easier or harder. It'll be easier to borrow money in theory. It should raise demand because money would be cheaper. But I usually hypothesize that in that environment, if they're trying to spur that, usually the economic environment is an environment where people don't want to spend. I guess what's a good way to put it? Rate cuts, it reminds me of putting jackets for sale in the summer. Does that make sense? So you're like, wait a minute, I could wear the jacket in winter and that's great. Like rate cuts in the right environment are great, but in hot summer, it's not going to work, or vice versa. You know, a bikini in winter in Alaska. So that's kind of the idea, is that in the short term, it's not going to match up with the market and spending, but then down the road, you know, there will be a time where you're like, oh, lower rates, good demand, that's great. Lending will tighten. So if you create a deal that helps you survive, I could get to the summer with the house. I mean, I don't know if you're talking about what you were saying earlier, but I mean, in general, there will be a moment. There'll be again, this is what we were talking about a couple weeks ago. Like, even in the stock market, like, I don't know, you don't have to be so dramatic if we have any sort of pullback. You know, it could be for 3 months. It could be for a year. Usually it's short term, but it would just be a rockier market, a pullback, slowdown in prices, you know, not necessarily a seller's market, and then would level out from there. But these are all great questions. We like to talk a lot about a lot of different things. So any final CPI questions for tomorrow? Again, you could use the bonds as your guide. But in general, like, remember last time, that was our first month-over-month negative print. We're coming off of a lot of trends. And after today's PPI, people are feeling good. But if we do get a surprise outside of the range, I mean, the market is volatile and sensitive, but so far we haven't had a problem in 6 days since our latest major problem. So on that note, if there is no more questions, Chatadonia, let us get into the play. So right off the bat, I don't know if you guys saw this after hours, and that's why I'm even telling you guys, I mean, one play too, I would definitely watch the yen tomorrow. Again, yen bond plays, like I've been saying every single day. I like these a lot better, and when it does come to the bonds, TLT options are kind of scammy, so don't ever forget that. But all that being said, I might highlight some plays that are related to news. And today after the bell, this was like right before I was getting ready for the watch list, there was news that Google might be forced to break up. Apparently, the Department of Justice, they lost this thing. The DOJ and Google, they didn't. Yeah, they nobody commented on it. The stock dropped like 2.8% after hours, but apparently they're saying that Google could be literally forced to spin off and break up, that they're too big. So we'll see where that goes. It was an initial negative reaction. I think it'll be good for them in the long term, or in the long run. And then, you know, fun fact, the last time that the government forced like a major company to break up, it was AT&T in the 1980s. So yeah, they'll probably make Google split up YouTube, the ad business, the car business, the censorship business. You know what I'm saying? They would split every company would get its own standalone. So it's wild. But that is play number one. Watch out. Again, I'm sure you'll hear about this one a lot tomorrow. And then speaking of a play you have heard about all day today, we actually had 1,000%er off an old earnings play, but Starbucks. So again, I'm putting this on here because a lot of people you were there in the morning, you saw what happened, or you were asking about it all day. Literally, Starbucks went up 20% and Chipotle dropped about 7%. And the news was that the CEO of Chipotle is leaving Chipotle to join Starbucks. Starbucks literally poached the CEO, rock star CEO of Chipotle at their prime, and this caused a shakeup with both of the stocks. Again, remember Starbucks the other day? Literally, we had this even on the watch list. We were talking about it. Elliott and Starboard got involved with it. Nelson Peltz even sold out today. There's a lot been going on. They had their earnings. They've been in the value names. So it's been a lot, man. But this news was pretty big. Caused a really big shakeup. I'm sure you're going to hear more. And again, both of these stocks moved a lot. Chipotle got killed. Our Starbucks play went up, I think 13 or like 2,000%. Some options were as high as like 9,000%. It was absolutely nuts. So watch out for that tomorrow. I'd keep your eye on it. You might get more follow through. And then the final play. This one, I have it in the long term, and I'm just happy that it went up. It's because I'm happy if you feel like the long time's in the room. Hey. No? Okay, I'm just having fun, man. I blame the music we were listening to before. If you were on the Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. But the final play, Nikes. The Nikes, Habibis. The Nikes. I love the Nikes, Habibis. Nikes, man. Nikes. So it's green in the long term. It rallied today, and literally, I think it benefited off of Starbucks. So I think Starbucks was a value name, started running. People got hyped off of literally how a what's it called? Just how a value name could run up like that off of a CEO. So I think people got super hyped off of it, and it rallied, and now it's back to the first like earnings level. $80 leads into like 82, and then if this wave of value names continues, I think it could be good. And then on top of it, we had a big talk today on securing dividends. A lot of people weren't following. This is something I told you guys at the beginning of the year with Pfizer, with MO, and a lot of these names, because you got to realize if they are about to start cutting dividends or cutting rates around the world, rates are about to go down. So that means yields are probably going to follow. If this is what I was showing here, and I showed you this about 2 weeks ago, you got to realize the world has been cutting rates. Central banks are cutting rates at a pace that we last had in 2009 and in 2020. But rates are about to start going down. So what I've been talking about is how you could buy these dividend names to lock in the dividends now. Because if the yields around the world are going to start going lower, the average dividend yield will go down. And a lot of people didn't understand this, but let me explain this in a way that is very simple to understand. In the last couple of years, anytime tech would rally, the dividend value names would dump, right? Are you with me? So now, as we cut rates, as you saw, you go look, value ripped, MO, Pfizer. So if we start getting rate cuts and rates start getting lowered, I would not be surprised if value and dividend goes up while some of the growth in tech comes down. So the logic is that when they start cutting rates, rates around the world will come down. So yields across the globe and asset class will start coming down, but then literally the value rotation should go, just like you've seen with the Russell and all of that. So therefore, the price of these names should go up, dividend stays the same, they start yielding less. The idea is lock in the names, the high quality names you really want, lock them in now before we start getting the cuts, because the best of the best dividend names, they'll start going. Ta-da! So that's something we've been talking about, and that's where I'm saying Nike, I think, in a lot of other value names, just keep that in mind if that keeps happening. Otherwise, though, just see if there's any more of the short-term vibes like Starbucks, and if that does spark any of these other value rotations. So those are the main plays. As far as everything else, all I sold my Starbucks play. It was like 40 cents into like 600. I think it went up to like $900. So I could have made more than, I could have made like 2,700%. And then I rolled it over for a next week $100 call for 20 cents. That went up like 80 cents. And then that was it. That's all I did. I'm chilling. Again, it sucks because, again, I wanted bond plays. Remember last week we started and I went with my option play on the bonds because I was kind of greedy. I thought I could have gotten, remember I was telling you 95? It went there, and this is where we made our option play on TLT. And pretty much I thought I could get a better price. You know, this is where I was selling out a lot of my other plays. So I was like, hey, if I want to position big, I thought I could go lower. So I positioned with an option. Why? Because then I had a defined small risk. I could make money if it goes up. If it goes down, I could get a bigger position, not have to risk much. But we've been talking about it all day. These TLT options suck. Even the plays we made, they were out of the money. Even though TLT went up like $2 from when we bought it, the play only went up like 30-40% at max. Even if you went in for at the money at the time, you would have only made like 50%, 70% of your contract. So the options in this volatility have not been good. Dollar for dollar, bonds, it's a higher risk. So that's the funny part because I'm telling you, you got to think it's not too crowded, just in a lot of expectations. And everything has a drawback and an advantage. You got to realize it. That's the reality, is that the options have that downside of not paying out as good, but you got to think about it. The alternative is that you buy the shares, right? You go buy TLT shares or you play a bond. But what's the problem with that? If you play a bond trying to get the better dollar for dollar return, you expose yourself to the volatility. That's exactly why I went with the option, because I didn't want to have the dollar for dollar downside, because this has been a massive move in the short term. You following? So that's the catch-22. The options, you make less money, but you do, again, you lose less money. You're not exposed as much as the plays that would give you more of a return. So that is something you got to think about. So other than that, we'll see. And then tomorrow as well, I guess the final play. I have nothing else for you guys, but the yen. Again, don't forget, that's something I think is a great way to end the plays and everything. And I could turn over the floor back to Chatadonia. But you guys remember what everybody was freaking out about, right? Everybody was freaking out about Japan. So this data and what we get with the CPI tomorrow, if it is crazy enough, don't underestimate. That could spark a reaction with the Japanese currency, and it could wake up some of those animal spirits. So we'll see where that plays out. That will be a potential one, but Chatadonia, that is your watch list in plays. Is there any questions? And guess what? Here's the long term I wanted to show you, because I showed you the carnage when we were dropping. Remember, we dropped that 10,000? Remember, it was just last week I was showing you this. This chart needs to refresh tomorrow, but now we're down 4,000 from the peak. Did very good. So a lot of BS, a.k.a. that massive drop last week was for nothing. Saying, we want Lily. We want Lily. Yeah, it's something that you need to have, because when you have Ozempic, you go cut your weight in half. Bro, I saw a commercial on Ozempic today, and it said you will lose 20% of your body weight. I said, what? I said, that's a crazy advertisement. I did the math. I said, what? It said lose 20% of your body. You could lose 20% of your whole body off of GLP-1, baby. But yeah, Eli Lilly, I mean, it never went to 1,000, but I mean, this stock shouldn't be here. Just understand, Eli Lilly is a very, 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 very slow mover with one of the longest histories of any stock market company in the world. But it shouldn't even be up here. So maybe it hits 1,000 and goes crazy, or maybe that's the top. I think they're doing very good, but I'm not a buyer at these prices. I was hoping NVO collapsed off of their bad earnings for a little bit, but they already rebounded. So no. I guess not. I guess not. So, what else we got? You're on Manjaro. That shit hits hard. That's good, though. You like it, though? Is it for weight loss, or do you actually need it? You got mad bread on NVO. God bless you, bro. That's a good investment. I'd be happy. I have Baba plays. No, I'm still in them. I'm writing them out. I'm going to sell out of those on Thursday or tomorrow because they report Thursday morning. Same with Walmart. I don't have a Walmart play, but yeah. Dividend names and Cam. Man, there's dividend names in America doing good. But anywhere, I mean, just keep an eye out for it. I'll just tell you now, if we really get a true global rate cut cycle, you really want to keep in mind dividends because some of these dividends, they may not get cheap again. I do still have Baidu. Yeah, it's down a lot, but I'm still in all of those shares. Did you see your little PPI question? I didn't, but why did you have to say little PPI? Sounds a little weird when you say a little. But what did you say? You said, will this be uploaded? No, yeah, your PPI question did not. Your little PPI question did not come through. Yeah, come on. Good. What else we got? I mean, it's weird. The volume has slowed down recently. I mean, last week it was super high because of the volatility, and all of a sudden it just slowed down. Bloop, 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 bloop. I'd say Lulu's on watch, yeah. All of the value plays, that's it. Starbucks, you got to realize what happened with Starbucks. Y'all don't realize it. Today was big in Starbucks land. That's why we got to see what happens, but this is why I'm saying Nike, I'd watch out for it, or even Whirlpool. They didn't even go up as much, but any of these little value ones, you got to watch out for it. Because what did Starbucks show today? I don't feel me. The drink was the final straw. What did Starbucks show the investment world today? Yeah, leadership matters. Back like nothing. Yeah, exactly. Bro, this shows you how much has to do with perception. This is all just perceptional. Nothing happened with the company, and we're talking an $18 billion market turnaround. This bitch ain't even turn around. Just the perception. Nothing happened. The idea of something new with this company unlocked 20% of its value. You see what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of these other names kind of got lift, because it's like, well, shit. You know, imagine all, like, again, is Nike really that bad? Or is there just one little thing? Is it can perception change? Can some of the other ones? Yeah, fundamentals may be bad, but like, quote unquote, but like, look, that doesn't stop it from moving like that. So I do think that's kind of the crash course that we got today. Ideas are bulletproof. Because bullies aren't bulletproof. Red Heart, Hoodie Toe. Probably in his hoodie, yo. What song is that? Oh, that's Ransom, I think. By Lil Wayne. They don't know that. Carvana's doing well because somehow they're making money. They went from BK, have it your way, you rule, to now they're making money per car. The model of like the GameStop model of lowballing cars and selling them without a title in a vending machine. It fucking works. So it's really weird, bro. It's weird. But yeah, I don't get it either. But they went from on the verge of bankruptcy to like crazy big. At BK, have it your way. Intel is the new meme. I still have some, but Intel is brutal, man. It's cheap enough, but they got to really turn it around. It loves to get pinned because it shouldn't be dying like this. But again, Pat the Rat. I don't know though. I don't know if I want to if you want to meme it. If you meme, I don't know. I don't trust Pat the Rat. I feel like if Intel got memed, Pat the Rat would just dump on it. I don't know. You can't trust Pat the Rat, bro. You can't trust Pat the Rat. Read it. Ross for CEO. Apparently, I am the CEO. That's what they said, man. That's what they said. How about Macron? I think Macron's a little too expensive. I think you could get better chip names. All the chip names are up. There's not really. I think the only one that's cheap is like Marvel, but they're like kind of doing bad. But then again, they're still way up after 23. There really isn't any deal in the semi space except for Intel. Intel is the only one that is like it's attached to everything. They're doing so bad. Dude, so that's the news that came out after the bell today. Intel sold $140 million worth of ARM. They had a stake in ARM, and they sold out of it, and they still reported a loss. They're just trash, bro. They're just trash. I don't know how to describe it. The Google shakedown, maybe, but I think they're being driven for up for a lot of other reasons. Dole earnings. The pineapple. Under the sea. Under the sea. Any good dividend deals? I mean, Pfizer is a little up there. I want it a little lower. Whirlpool is pretty high, actually. Bristol Myers, Kimberly-Clark, Estee Lauder. What else, Chad? Throw some other ones out. There's a lot of dividend names out there. I'm telling you. I kind of like Whirlpool. Whirlpool and Estee Lauder. Whirlpool just pays a higher dividend. I really want Whirlpool, but it kind of, again, they have a high payout ratio. Same with Estee Lauder. But they're both, I don't know. UPS. UPS is a solid one in the middle. 4%, 5% divvy yield. Low price. American Tower, kind of, yeah. MO's a high yield. It's just MO, we're up a lot, dude. So I don't know if I would touch MO. We're up like 20% on MO or something stupid. Have it your way. Bro, what happened to my thing? Oh, well. That didn't work. We're up a lot, bro. I need to check. I think we're up 20% since they're 18. So that's why that's the only, but it's still 7.5%. That's the part that I like about it. MO, you're literally up 29% since our last that's crazy on the year. And that is not a fucking growth name. You see what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I'm like, damn, they're just trapping hella people. Because then if you buy MO right now for 7.5 and this thing just goes back to unchanged on the year, you're down 30%. That's 4 years of dividends. So that's my problem with young MO, is that from the last like March, it's up a lot. Literally every drip, even your latest drip, you're up 10%. So yeah, you don't want to get value trapped on there. Otherwise, I like it a lot, but I'm even MO or Pfizer, I'm waiting on a better price. I could sell covered calls, but it's usually not worth it. So like even if I go out, like what covered calls, like maybe if we go to January 26th, how many shares do I have? 400 or 600? I have 400. Like what am I going to sell? I could sell these 57s and make like $400, which is a decent amount, but that leaves me like, what, 10% of upside in the next like year and a half? That's kind of dog shit. Excuse my language. Yeah, all of my dividends are automatically reinvested. That's the thing. I mean, I think a lot of y'all play me too on this long term because like there is the gains nominally, but every single dividend is like how much money we spent on MO is nuts. Like it says $21,000, but I don't think I've put more than 15 grand or 14 grand into this stock. So all of those dividends over the years, like look at these, all of these have just came back into it. And that's for every stock. So every stock in this portfolio over the last couple years, just every single piece of dividend is just going into it and reinvesting. And that's part of the balance that's growing with it. But yeah, shout out the drip, baby. Shout out the drip. I kind of like UPS. My only problem right now, too, is that there's a lot of names out there, and some of them are good, but a lot of them are really good, and I like them. Some are even really good quality. My only problem is I want to stack up, and I don't want to get caught buying too many new names where I end up putting, one deposit into 5 new names, and then, before you know it, you don't have a big position. So I would prefer a position that is bigger that I could build up. You feel? I hope you feel me. Good news is good news. It is indeed, my friend. It is indeed. Entire long term. Honestly, it's both good and bad. What I would do is I would start balancing. You could even balance it out with the ETF and call it a day. But I want concentration. I want more. That's why I'm like, I really wish I could stack, but it sucks. This year, almost everything we could have wanted, even the stuff we went heavy on, again, like MO and all the value, they all ran on Yield Max. I'm not a big fan of them. Some people really don't like them, but I think I'm better off just owning the equity. I like the ownership in the company. To 200, I would not add CrowdStrike. No. CrowdStrike, I remember when it was like a $90 company. So although it's kind of very important for the online ecosystem, I don't think I'm touching that thing at 200. 5,000 and looking at investing in 1 or 2 companies. I would maybe spread it out over like 5. You put 1,000 in each to start out, but then the idea would be saving up more and adding it. If you aren't going to add any more, maybe just put 5,000 into one company or 2. When am I making an ETF? I'm doing it for you now. It's all for free. So again, if you see the long term and if you go to the live channel and you get the long term, but we do all this, we send out the long term alerts, do all this without having to pay Wall Street or charging you a 1% fee. But feel free, you could donate 1% to me if you like. If you've gotten Meta, if you benefited off of any of these plays, you could feel free to give me your 1% fee. It's kind of like pay whatever you pay as you can. No worries, man. No worries. Your long term is Acorn. Should I make your own? I don't think it'll hurt you. Like the best part about this is that you get to have something. Someone said it earlier. They're like the long term quadrupled. The amount just goes up. So I don't know. If you want an account that grows, use it for a down payment. Whatever happens in the market, if the world has hyperinflation, your wages won't leave you behind, because you'll actually own a dividend or you'll actually own an asset. So it could grow with whatever the world does. Having a real long term that you put savings, it's your money. So this is all my money. I have 190,000 in there over the year. This is the small account. Again, we started this account with like $500. And then we added $200 to $300 a month over the last couple of years. Now it's at 21 grand. It's about to hit 25. But it's like, this is all our money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it doesn't hurt to have a long term. Does not hurt to have. Intel. You do have to pay the taxes on dividends. You have to report them. It's like a threshold. I think anything above 3,000 a year in total. Long term. Yeah, and it's your money. Just don't ever forget that. So just like you make a brokerage and you go and put, like, you save your 10% every month, add to it, like, this is your money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Also bought the course back in the day. Let's go, baby. You in real estate? Let's go, Intel. Has that always been your name? Or did you make that? I don't know if you were there the other day. Literally, Intel support hung up the phone on me. They got mad at me. Whoa. Acorns 2019. Yeah, it was good. You made it? Like, you just made it? So then you did see it. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm like, that's funny if you didn't. What a coincidence. Remember Robinhood, Josh? I do too. That was 2019-ish, 2020. That's good. We could do something else. We could get it back. You got a more Fati tatted on you? That's what's up. I hope you spelt it right. It'd be awkward if you didn't. We should call CEOs again. Give me one. Can you get me any CEOs' phone numbers? Oh yeah, I didn't know this long-term jump today, so that's it. Long-term back to highs on the small account. This mother effer. But yeah, man, it's your money. You save. It's good for you. Where's 2K guy? Yeah, where is 2K guy? He didn't email me back. Can I do the Robinhood challenge? We could. We were just going to do a budget, strict budget on certain trading ones, but maybe we just do that instead. Oh, wait. Oh, what? What's called real estate? Oh, it's like a gang of real estate agents. They're like, open house. You want to buy a home? And then it's just crazy. It's intense. You got to be there, though. Next Wednesday. Not this Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Picking one stock. Disney, SoFi, or Pfizer. What do you want? So, I don't know. Again, like with anything, your long term, you do got to think of what is your goal with the long term. What do you want out of holding equities? Like this is your savings, it's your money, but like, do you prioritize safety? Do you want gains? Do you want big gains? Do you want mediocre gains? Do you want big safety but a little bit of risk? You gotta, do you have a plan? Do you want to go to school in a couple of years? Do you want to make a bakery? Do you want to retire? Do you want to go on a Vegas bender? Like, what are you trying to do? That will help determine, what type of plan, because again, Disney, SoFi, Pfizer, they all move different. They're all going to have different exit plans and upsides and downsides. So that's why I'm saying when you ask those other questions, you could figure that one out. Move out of your parents' house, you have $500. So what do you do for a living? What's your job? What's your primary source of income? Bostic was super hawkish on rate cuts today. That's what I was mentioning earlier. It was a little weird because all of a sudden, a lot of the Fed people have kind of taken on a hawkish tone. IT tech. Sounds like a good job. So how much you get paid? How do you only have $500? Especially if you living at home. You don't tell me you spending it all on Red Bull. I know you tech guys. You all like them Red Bulls. Everyone was focused on Starbucks today. It was wild. It was the talk of the town. Puerto Rico. Why don't you do remote work in the States so that you could get paid in the dollar? $665 per week. That's not bad then. But I think buying a house in Puerto Rico is good though. I wish I knew more about overseas. Excuse me. I might be down to add more Vanny, but for now I'm going to be holding till the end of the year. Again, whenever they give that update, it should be, second half. We are firmly in second half, so we'll see what happens, Uh-huh. What else we got? I don't know, man. I think we might call it 53. I was going to go for an hour, but I think we'll leave it there. I got to go eat before, because if I eat too late, I'll get heartburn. That's it, man. Bro, dude, Chad, did I tell you how bad my legs hurt? I don't know what I did. I think it's because I did like over 200 swings on the kettlebell. Bro, I'm walking like a minotaur. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight up walking like a minotaur. Like, I'm walking. Even my girlfriend was clowning me, bro. It gets worse and worse as the night goes on. So from like the end of the day, bro, to like now, I didn't stretch after. I didn't think it hurt, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, yesterday I was feeling good. Like, you ever like feel good? And like, bro, I felt like a Lastaboy yesterday. I felt fine. I was stretching. I was lifting, bro. I was curling fucking the 35s, doing mad. I think I did like maybe 40, 50 sets of bicep curls in 20. I was feeling good yesterday. I don't know what it was. I had a good night's sleep. I started doing squats, kettlebell. I was swinging this bitch. Like, bro, I was doing all sorts of shit, and I felt fine. And then I woke up this morning, and I was like, ooh, that's a little. And then every hour that went on, little by little, the most insane soreness in my calves, my hamstrings, everything, dude. It's nuts. It's nuts, bro. I can't. So, yeah, I'm dying right now. What the fuck was that? Is that my hair or a spider? I couldn't tell. Do some more. I'm excited though. I'm excited because I'm like, no way. If that got me that like sore, then I'm gonna get fucking swole off of mad kettlebell swings. Because I did all of this in my fucking backyard. I did kettlebell swings while we were doing push-ups, and then after the bell, I just worked out. I just started doing I've been doing prison sets, bro. I be working out in my backyard, just getting tan and lifting in the super hot, and then just and then I've been hitting the kettle, and then I just started swinging the kettlebell, bro. Oh man, it's crazy. Is my urine color normal? Are you asking me out of health reasons, or are you just into weird shit? Either way, man, it's normal. Yeah, it's normal. No, I'm not gonna judge you. SD is not hot. Yeah, it is. It's like, dude, 80 something degrees hits, bro. I don't know if you like it hits in sun too. It's crazy. It could hurt. Yeah, that too. I don't want to get hurt. Because when I get hurt, that should take me out forever. I might have robbed. Is this a joke? What's robbed though? Did I say something offensive? Oh, girl, I need to get it. I need to get some food too, man. I can put on the glasses. Rhabdomosis. When the muscle tissue is damaged and breaks down, releasing substance into the blood and kidney damage? What? I don't think it's that bad, bro. I guess it is. It says injury. Yeah, my P's normal, bro. I think I'm good. I think I'm straight. That's crazy, bro. Don't wish that on. Dude, this is insane. Don't wish this on me in like brown piss. Nah, bro. I'm not down. Iran was eerily quiet. We didn't hear shit on the war. I got a headline right now, 2 minutes ago. U.S. military says it destroyed 2 Houthi vessels in the Red Sea. Rabdo? Yeah, I think you have to do a lot. I think I'm fine. I just got really sore. I just had a good workout, man. I don't know. It's not that serious. I'm excited. I don't know. It was one of those workouts, man. It was one of those workouts. Like, I got it. I got me a good workout. I woke up sore. I felt good, baby. It's not escalating, but there was weird stuff. It was quiet today compared to yesterday, and then Blinken did cancel his trip, and there's still those no-fly zones and all of that. I didn't have a protein shake yesterday. Maybe that's it. We'll go have one right now. Check my brother in Christ. Amen, bro. Amen. Amen. I hope you got a long term, bro. I hope you do, man. Amen. Amen. It's Intelitis. No. All right, but Chattadonia. On that note, my brothers and sisters, I think we're gonna do live watch list all week. I don't know. It's feeling like that. I'm hype, man. I like it. I like the energy. It's always a joy to see you, baby. So you have a good night's sleep. Actually, wait. No. Let me set up the what's it called? Let me set up the live stream for tomorrow morning. I forgot. I should have had that done. But yeah, I am wrapping up. So I do love you. I'm gonna set this one up real quick so you could get it. But yeah, tomorrow we will be live for the CPI early. So 1 hour before the bell. 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And then we will be there all day. And then it's just fun for the whole family. Should be very straightforward. I think tomorrow will be a lot of fun. But you guys have a good night. Thank you again for being here. I'm trying to talk to you while setting up this stream. So this is how multitasking Josh sounds. I could kind of do it. I kind of understand what I'm saying while talking and communicating and setting up another stream. You know, they say you can't multitask, but I'm kind of doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you say, I'm even reading the chat. You say multitask answers, bro. I mean, like, literally right now, bro, I am going and I'm doing everything so that I can transfer everything to the stream tomorrow. So, like, yeah, I'm almost done. Isn't that amazing? But, Chad, no, thank you, man. Thank you. I love you. I hope you guys had fun all day today. These days have been flying, bro. So enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy the summer, the low liquidity. Oh, you just got here? Yeah, you missed the watch list. You could go back. This will post right away. You could go back through all of it and go from the top and be prepared for tomorrow. And then we'll see you tomorrow morning. But Chattadonia, I love you all. That is everything. God bless every single one of you. Finger to the sky. See you in the AM. And peace out.